Welcome to Zone Cheer All-Stars 10-year anniversary documentary special. Over the next hour, we're going to take a look back at what makes Zone Cheer so special. We're going to talk to current athletes, alumni, coaches, staff, family, and of course, the brains and the heart behind Zone Cheer All-Stars, Jessica Moltisanti. Sit back and enjoy, and maybe have some Kleenex ready. We're going to start our 10-year celebration with the first Level 5 team here at Zone Cheer All-Stars, Supremacy, the team that every young athlete aspires to be on. Sit back as Jordan, Stephanie, Brianna, Mark, Addison, and the entire team share fun stories and moments that make All-Star Cheer more than about winning. So we're here with Jordan Mackles, and she is the first athlete at Zone Cheer to be here from a Level 1 through a Level 5. That's an awesome accomplishment.
Thank you.
How did you stay focused and continue on your path from 1 to 5, learning new skills and also trying to have fun under all that pressure?
Well, I've been here a while, and my coaches, they've taught me, always be determined and hardworking with anything you do. And it's been easy, like, learning and growing with them. I'm still making progress to the day. I mean, I remember when I was little, and I would watch the older kids tumble. I used to think I could never do that, but now I am.
How old were you when you started?
Oh, I was in kindergarten. Don't even remember.
Oh my goodness. And do you mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 13.
So you've been here pretty much the whole time. We're celebrating 10 years,
Yeah.
but you're like here for 8, and that's pretty amazing. And now you're on a Level 5 for the first time.
Yes.
What's the pressure of being on a Level 5 as opposed to those years before?
I mean, it's a lot more stressful. It's definitely harder competition, harder routines. I have to stay focused all the time, but I have fun while doing it.
What is the most fun? Competition, practice, just hanging with the team, like what's the most fun?
I think everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I love competitions. You get to hang out with your team at the hotel and, performing, awards.
We're here with Stephanie Toms, and you were on Senior 4 Platinum, and now Supremacy, the first Level 5 team at Zone. What has been the most important part of your training at these high levels?
I'd have to say, with All-Star Cheer, it'd have to be working together with my team and like having a positive attitude and keeping it up like throughout the whole practice and the whole season. Because it could be hard with high school cheer, because I do that as well. So it was really stressful sometimes and like managing my time. But I think working together with my team, it really helped me get
So
through
now,
it.
what would be your advice? I imagine when things go wrong or things aren't quite hitting the way they're supposed to, that's kind of tough. How do you keep that positive attitude?
Well, I always have like a smile on my face, so I feel like that just keep smiling through it. It helps me personally. But I'd say motivating your teammates, just being like, come on, you got this, like easy stuff like that, it helps a lot just to get through like simple stuff.
Absolutely. Was last year your first year?
No, it was 2 years ago, so my freshman year of high school.
Freshman year?
Yeah.
Wow, and you're on Level 5.
Yeah.
Did you come in with skills?
I did gymnastics,
Okay.
and then I made the Level 3 team, and then they moved me up to Level 5. So it was kind of scary at first because I didn't really know anybody, but like I instantly fell in love with Zone.
So
and,
the
like,
difference
everyone.
between Level 3 and Level 5, what's the biggest?
I'd say stunting for me because I had the tumbling-ish pretty much, but that wasn't my worry. I was worried because I never stunted before, like I did middle school cheer, but that's not even the same at all. Like the level of elite that like we do for Supremacy, it's just such a big difference.
And how does it compare to high school cheer?
It's actually a lot different too because it's a lot more fast-paced than high school. Everything is just keeps going and going and going versus high school you have like stops and stuff.
Right.
Everything's more tight.
And you have studies in between this. How do you manage all of that?
It can be stressful sometimes. Still trying to figure out how to like get through it, but. I keep a planner personally, but like that helps me like scheduling all my time. But I just love being busy myself, so like it just works for me.
So we're here with Brianna Leonard, and Brianna came from competitive gymnastics, made the transition to competitive cheer. That must have been a big challenge for you.
Yeah, it was. I was a little scared to work with a team since I've never had before. And gymnastics was a very individual sport, so if I were to mess up in gymnastics, it only affected me. But I feel like competing with a team really pushes me to do my best. And cheer has just taught me how to work together with teammates, and just I love having people around to motivate and support me all the time.
What would be some advice you would give to the little ones coming up, because you're on level 5? Did you come in starting at a level 5 because of your tumbling?
Yeah, my tumbling really helped me be able to go on level 5, and I actually got thrown in to be a flyer my first year, which was
And you
a
never
little
did that
scary.
before? Oh, wow.
That was a big challenge for me. It was really scary, but I think that really helps me become not as fearful for other things, and I kind of just I don't know, kind of just
Like the first time you went up in the air, describe that feeling.
Oh, I feel like I was on top of a building, and
That
I
high.
kept looking down,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and I was very shaky. I remember my bases being like, "Don't be so nervous, don't be so shaky. We've got you," and that really helped.
I bet it takes a lot of trust to have your bases below you, just knowing that if something happens, they've got you.
Yeah.
And so does that build like a camaraderie amongst your team, and how
Yeah.
close are you guys?
We just learned we kind of feed off of each other. So during the routine, we are always talking to each other. We're always just cheering each other on, and that always helps. And I'll always hear my back spot cheering for me and telling me to lock my leg and keep my head up and smile. And so, yeah.
And those reminders help you. So we're here with Mark O'Loughlin, who of course is also on Supremacy, but also coaches the little ones. And he was also one of the first boys at Zone Cheer. What was that experience like?
Oh my, I remember my first day walking into the gym, and I could just hear every single person's neck just snap, just snap right at the door as I walked in. And oh my goodness, I was so scared. I was nervous for what was gonna happen next.
What made you stay? How did you not run for the door?
What really made me stay was all the good times that it was really fun here, honestly, and the loving environment that Coach Jessica and Mel gave to me.
They certainly do. It's a home away from home, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly.
So this is your last year cheering at Zone. What plans do you have for this last season and then for the future?
My plans for this season, I really want to get an NCAA jacket.
Okay.
Because I couldn't get it last year because I tore my ACL and I was out for the entire season.
How's that doing?
It's doing great now.
Okay,
I'm actually starting to throw my doubles again.
Excellent.
And it's very nerve-wracking, but
And we love to watch those. They're pretty impressive. And for the future?
I was thinking about, after this season, maybe joining the Navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my father was a Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Navy SEAL, so.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, good luck. If you
Thank
do
you
join
so
the
much.
Navy, we will definitely miss you, but we will thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. So we're here with Addison Kane. She goes by Addie, one of the newest members here at Zone Cheer, and you started at a level 5?
Yes.
How does that happen?
So I was a competitive gymnast,
Okay.
and my gym had closed down, and I was looking for something that could kind of give me the same feel almost. And so I was supposed to only sign up for a tumbling class, but I came in and threw one round off back handspring full, and Jess was like, "Okay, choreography starts at 7."
Oh,
So,
oh
true
my
story.
gosh.
So yeah, so I came in, and then that night I had choreography at 7 for Supremacy, and yeah, that's how it happened.
And
So-
when you left choreography that night, were you like, I'm in, I love this?
Yeah,
or-
I was. Honestly, I came in and bonded with the team right away, and Jess and everyone helped me fit in. So the first night I felt great about it.
And here you are. It's only really 4 or 5 months later. And when this is airing, it's a whole season. So
I
that's
know,
going to
it's
be pretty
crazy,
amazing.
you know?
So what year are you in high school?
I am in 10th grade. So
10th grade. So
sophomore.
you have, are you going to keep going?
Yes, I
Well,
love
that's
it.
good news.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about Zone?
The team.
Yeah.
The team element of it, I love it so much, and I love everyone here, the coaches, just the family element of it. I feel like when I came here, I was so welcomed, and I feel like part of the family already.
And
so.
that's really Jessica's goal when
It
she
really
created
is.
Zone 10 years ago. So that's pretty amazing that it's still kind of emanating throughout the gym right now.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Addie. Good
Yeah,
luck.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so here we are with Jessica's team, Supremacy, level 5, first level 5 at the gym in 10 years. Yes, that must have been really exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
And so we need to hear some stories from these athletes, and I want to hear the funniest story that ever happened either at practice, competition, something like that. Who's got one for me?
So at our first competition, being level 5, we were in warm-ups and we were all really stressed out. And when we were warming up tumbling, we had an athlete and her hairpiece went flying across the floor.
Oh.
So that really lightened the mood, and it was just such a good laugh.
Definitely lightened the mood.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing before competition.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
very stressful because it was our first time out going level 5 after 8 years of training.
That
for
was
it.
the first time going
the
out,
first
and
time.
that's when the weave went flying. I mean, I think that was a sign to just calm down.
It definitely did.
You guys have this. Okay. Most memorable moment aside from that.
I would say winning cheer sport was a really big one for us.
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, what was that like? You're sitting there, you're waiting to hear the results, and I mean, butterflies. Like, what's going on there?
It was an amazing feeling. I thought it was like one of the most craziest moments of my life. It was awesome.
Is that the biggest competition level
Cheer
5?
sport's one of the biggest competitions out there, cheer sport and NCA. And it was our goal to win cheer sport. And we had won cheer sport in senior level 2 division 2 years prior. But for this team, it was a goal that they had for a very long time.
And they met it. That's pretty awesome. Congratulations. All right, now we have to go embarrassing. Who's got an embarrassing story?
I do definitely have one from embarrassing.
Okay.
We were at UCA a few years ago, and the competition was at Hollywood Studios, and my mom decided to bring me to Universal.
Oh, I got a text message, and it was like, you have an athlete that's at the wrong location. They're at Universal Studios, and I'm like, no, we're at Hollywood Studios.
I remember calling Jordan's mom, Miss Patty, because she's the team mom. I'm like, yeah, I'm in front of this like big globe right now, and she's like, big globe? I go, oh yeah, I'm in front of this globe. I'm just trying to find you guys. She goes, I think you're at Universal. I go, no, I'm pretty sure I'm at Hollywood Studios. She goes, no, you're at Universal. I go, okay. So now I ran back to my mom in the car, and yeah, I think
Oh my
And you
goodness.
made it. They made it.
Yeah, but you had to change up times,
Yeah,
and I
we
mean
did.
that can't be an
No,
easy
it's-
feat during
not
competition because
easy.
those things are scheduled
Yes.
like.
But we made it happen, and she got on the floor and was successful. So.
Well, that's good, and you weren't like nervous after going through all that, and
I was definitely a little bit nervous, but I'm pretty sure we hit that competition, and I'm pretty sure we
Awesome.
won. And UCA too. Ashton was on the team. There's a few people on this team that was there with me.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. Any story about the coaches? Sorry, Coach Jess. Any story you want to share about the coaches? Ooh, look at Stephanie. She's like, I think I have one. Okay.
When I first came, it was like I was auditioning almost, and and it was Jess and Mel had like a table, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I busted a full, I think, and they were like, okay, well, do it again, and I was like, okay, and then I landed one, and they were like, okay, you gotta come at 7 for choreography, and then I came, and I remember I was so nervous because everyone was already on the team, and I came in and Jess was like, hi, how are you? Nice to see you again. And it was good, but it was really nerve-wracking meeting
bet.
you for the first time. But
We love having you, Addie.
Anybody have another coach besides Jessica? That
I
you,
have something.
yeah.
When I first came and like I didn't know the gym very well, I thought Coach Jessica and Coach Melanie were sisters.
Everybody does.
I just like kept referring to them as sisters, and then I finally found out that they weren't. I just thought the works were like so close.
And it's funny because still to this day, everywhere we go, everybody thinks we're sisters.
Yeah.
So it's a joke.
I
We
thought
said
that
we're
too.
going to wear shirts that have arrows and then say, she's not my sister. We could be sisters.
They really could. And we'll meet Melanie soon, so
Yes.
you'll see why they could be sisters. All right, so Zone is your home away from home. Do you guys come into this gym, and like what feeling do you get when you come into this gym?
I honestly feel so loved. I could be having the worst day, and then I'll come in and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to see Jessica. And then, because I know she's like, it's so happy. I love coming in.
Yeah.
It's a place to get away from everything else that happened the rest of the day. It's really nice to come in here and just be able to hang out with the coaches and train and stuff like that.
It just puts you in like such like a good mood. Like after like leaving practice, even if it's like a bad practice, I'm just like happy.
Yeah. I agree.
And you have so much stress at high school with studies and friends and stuff, and you come here and it just all goes, doesn't it? The mom running out on stage, who's got that story?
Yeah,
I don't know if that qualifies as embarrassing or funny.
It was actually a little bit of both. What happened was, it was me and Mark, our first year cheering ever, and we won cheer sport at level 4. So we were doing kind of like a mock interview at the end with a raised platform stage that was give or take at least 4 feet high. And my
For
mom
awards.
Okay.
is this tall. And so here we are. He goes, so who's your biggest fan on the for this team here? And my mom goes, literally out of nowhere, she's like, oh my God, it's me. She's like, I'm here. And
She had her blue hair.
and she pulls me from the crowd. She's like, this is my baby. I'm like, yep, that's my baby.
She's definitely one of our biggest fans.
Oh, that's
She is.
And you're a good sport for taking it.
Yeah, it was. I think at that point I knew that I was stuck in cheer simply because.
Forever.
Yeah.
Because of mom.
Yeah, now she has a spirit stick.
She does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know her.
And she has
She also, I think it was last season, she had a cowbell. So we asked for no cowbells because it does distract the athletes, and then sometimes they can't hear the music. So she did this joke, and there was a Saturday Night Live skit where they needed more cowbell. So when I told them no cowbells by email, she sent me the skit.
Will Ferrell. Yep, we know it well. That's
So she always sent me a message before competition. I need more cowbell.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so were you ever in a situation where you found out you made a competition that you needed a bid to, and what was that feeling like?
Last year we didn't have like the best experience at a competition, and we pulled through at the end. We had some injuries, and it was like we all pulled together at the end, and we were watching a bid reveal with our other high team, Intensity, and we didn't expect to like get a bid or anything, and we were watching the thing and it said Supremacy, and we were all pretty amazed by that.
I bet.
It was really exciting.
It's nice to see them come in and have fun while they're training, because training at this level is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I try to give them that training that they need to be successful at competition, but also equal the love and compassion for all of them while they're training. So we do have to have fun while
Well, it
we're working
certainly
at it.
looks like you have that balance. After 10 years of Zone Cheer, many of our athletes become like family. Many of the kids who started the program have moved on to college, careers of their own, married, and yes, some even stick around to coach here at Zone. But one thing is for certain, they all come back to visit those who made such a positive impact on their lives. So here we are with some of our alumni. We're going to get started with Jordan Furlow, who's also known as Coach Jordan. I can't not say Coach Jordan because she coaches my daughter as well. But she started cheering at Zone Cheer in 5th grade. She stayed through high school graduation, part of every decision from the beginning. What impacted you the most in all those years?
I definitely think Jessica and Melanie had a huge impact on my life in every aspect, not just cheerleading, but they motivated me in so many ways in school, in whatever job I had at the time, but also in cheerleading, and they were great throughout my entire school experience.
I bet they become like second moms.
For sure, yes.
Do you confide in them with everything?
Absolutely. There's definitely been a couple times where I've called Jessica and Melanie when I felt like I had no one else to talk to, and they were picked up immediately, always there for me.
That's
for sure.
awesome. I know you did a solo, and I was told your biggest fan was Grandma Zone.
Absolutely.
Tell us what she used to do every time she would hear that music start.
So she used to have a little office at the old gym, and whenever my music would come on, she would hop up and come out and stand in the corner and watch me, and it was great. She's always been my biggest fan for that.
And I mean, just to feel that love every time you come in the gym, that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It's definitely a second home for me.
So what goals has Zone helped you set for yourself in life? I know you used to cheer in high school too, so how did you manage all that and set all these different goals for yourself?
Yeah, it was definitely rough at times. A very busy life in high school, doing niece cheerleading and Zone in school and all of that. But Jessica is amazing and kind of helping me calm down and set like reasonable goals for myself. And even now through college, I still think about some of the advice that she's given me with like getting into nursing school and setting your goals high, but making them attainable and working hard for them. So
that's awesome. Jordan Furlow, our first alumni, and she'll be back during the coaches section. We're here with Joy Johnston, another original here at Zone Cheer, and one of the sassiest from the stories I've heard. She came in as a sassy young girl who quickly learned she had to be regimented and follow the rules to be part of Zone. Can I translate that? You had a big attitude, and Coach Jess had some challenges at times. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
What was give me a funny story about that moment.
So there's many times, but one was that I just wouldn't listen. They would try to coach me in ways and I would just not follow the directions. And so I remember there was one memory, Coach Melanie, she was like, all right, you're not going to do what you need to do. You're going to bridge walk and we're on the floor. And I remember bridge walking and my arms cramping up and I was just like, I hate this so much. But I learned that, like, you know, if you don't follow directions, you get consequences. If you don't, you know, follow the rules, things happen. So
exactly, safety, especially when it comes
to
competitive cheer. Now, within a very short time, Joy learned those rules, and she became the hardest working athlete at Zone. She'd do anything for anyone. You thrived academically. You also cheered at Nice High School. That is a full schedule. You left an impact on many athletes here at Zone. You were even a mentor to some of those athletes, and now you're pursuing a career in nursing and getting married next fall.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. And if you had to sum up Zone, which would be really difficult based on based on that description, you really experienced a lot here. But if you had to sum up Zone, how would you advise those who are going through the program now?
I would advise them is, when you put 110% into a sport or anything in life, you will definitely receive like all of the hard work that you've actually done. Also, it took me a long time to really trust the coaches because, you know, I had such a rebellious attitude. But once I really just like gave it up to the coaches and my family and everyone and just listened to them, you know, they really guided me into the right direction in cheer, in school, and in life in general. And so.
And this is
the very first uniform we ever wore in 2009 with our very glamorous bow.
Yeah, there's so much more bling now.
I know, just a little bit. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really special. Do you have all your uniforms?
I don't, just this one. Kept the very first one and then, but yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Joy Johnston, thank you for celebrating 10 years.
Thank you.
Here with another alumni, Mackenzie Herrera. And Mackenzie started in middle school right through her high school career. I bet you have lots of stories because middle school is kind of a changing time for a lot of kids. And how would you describe the difference between your Zone experience in middle school and high school?
Oh gosh, I think it kind of paved the pathway of my life in a way for middle school and high school, and even now. It kind of disciplined me and kind of made my life more structured for sure. In middle school, oh gosh, that was like my whole life.
Yeah, cheer was?
Yeah. It was. Like, it took over everything, and it was a new, exciting thing because I had never cheered. I
my cheer career started like 7th grade.
Yeah.
I didn't have any kind of tumbling, nothing. I didn't even know like what a basket toss or anything was, and so that was really exciting. And then high school, like you kind of hit my growth spurt. It was gone, and I know you're kind of. It was weird with the transition with your body, and like tumbling got harder, and it wasn't that I like grew out of it, but I had to like, oh gosh, I don't know,
Regroup almost, yeah.
But it was like, it was crazy. Like it was still my life in high school, and I loved it. But then there was like high school cheer,
Of
and
course.
so that zone helped me so much with that, because I would have never thought about doing high school cheer when I was in 5th grade or anything.
If you could narrow it down with all those years, what would be your most exciting memory of zone cheer? Yeah.
Gosh, first definitely winning NCAA nationals in Dallas.
Awesome.
By far, because that's a big competition. It's
Yeah.
nationals. I mean, there's 4 nationals at that time, but that was the biggest one for
That's
sure.
awesome. Is that one of the ones where you get the jacket?
Yes. I know. I wish I would have brought my jacket.
I was gonna say.
Oh, gosh,
I think I
so,
saw
yeah.
pictures of you guys sleeping in it or
Yes.
something. That's pretty
We
awesome.
always were them.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations and thanks for celebrating 10 years of zone cheer. Okay, so we're here with the first set of sisters at zone cheer, Shelby and Lexi King. I can imagine they have lots of stories because I guess sisters can sometimes fight, and here they are cheering together. Now, Lexi, amazing academically. I was told you cheered at St. Augustine High School as well. You are on numerous teams here at Zone, always working really hard. And Shelby, another original member here, helped actually shape Zone to what it is today. And she also now works for varsity, and I'm sure that Zone has helped you achieve those goals. But I do have to hear the most challenging story about being sisters in competitive cheer.
So I would say our biggest hardship was me trying not to coach Lexi.
Oh, because you are the big
So,
sister.
I am the big sister,
Yeah.
and I wasn't always just a big sister. I tried to coach her more than I should have. So that was something that was definitely hard for us to overcome.
How did you take that?
It was hard. I would fall out the air and she'd be in my face yelling at me, and Jess would have to be like, "You're not her coach, calm down." But like, cheer brought us closer together, even if she was in my face yelling at me most of the time. But
I bet you guys have some pretty awesome memories about that. You have to share the memory about trying out.
Okay, so I heard about Zone just kind of like randomly. It wasn't really something crazy, and me and my friend Rachel, we did like a fake team in St. Augustine, and then we heard about Zone, and we went to tryouts, and I threw a full, which back then was kind of a bigger deal.
That is a big
Nowadays,
deal.
It's not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
And Jessica goes, "Is that all you can do?" And I was like, "I'm not making the team. I'm not going to make it." And
But you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, and it was a decision that changed my life, and I will always, always be grateful.
And how'd you drag Lexi into it?
So we were down a flyer. We needed an extra person, and Lexi never wanted to do what I was doing, never. Like, I tried to get her to do gymnastics, hated it. She was the dancer. We needed someone, and I was like, "Lexi, come to practice," and that was it. She was hooked. She quit dance. She converted
No
to the
regrets.
dark side, we always say.
I'm so happy I cheered. It gave me one of the best experiences I could ever ask for, and taught me a lot.
That's awesome. That's
That's what
awesome.
she was meant to do. She just didn't know yet.
And you guys, your families are so close. Your family and Jessica's family are so close. Did that just develop through the years of being here?
Yeah, I always tell people to the day that Jessica was my biggest mentor and someone I looked up to, and she still is. Like, if anything's wrong, I always call her, make sure I'm doing the right thing at 23.
But at 23, you're working for varsity, and she is still there supporting you. I mean,
Yeah, working for varsity is like a job I never thought I wanted or knew I would do, and it's like the perfect job for me. My friends say when they look at my name in the dictionary, they could see cheerleading sales rep next to it.
Yeah.
So being a part of Zone showed me all different types of people, and it helped me learn not just cheerleading but the industry overall. So going in straight out of college to a job where I'm selling, I can really think that this being here is what helped me understand it more than just being like, oh, I'm a cheerleader. I know cheerleading uniforms.
Exactly. That really shaped your
overall.
career. Absolutely. Well, one thing nobody can ever take away from you guys is that you guys are the first set of sisters at Zone Cheer. I think they need to put like a plaque on the wall or something. And here we are celebrating 10 years, so that's pretty awesome being one of the original members, and here we are.
And we did start a little bit of a trend, but it kind of went away. We surprised our mom.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my last year cheering was an emotional year, but it wasn't that bad because we knew Lexi still had it. But
oh, no, it was emotional. I remember lots of tears. Or was it at your, it was hers that there was lots of tears. Yeah.
Because that was my last year coaching too.
So you surprised your mom?
Yes, we went behind her back and ordered music and created a routine, just the two of us. And
it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard. We pulled her out, and she thought one of us got hurt. They were like, "And we need you at the front of the floor right now." And she had just walked in, had no idea what was going on. She really did. She was like, "Oh God, what shall we break this time? What happened to Lexi?" Like, and we came out, and she just bawled her eyes out. And we did all her favorite songs.
Oh my goodness!
She had no idea, and it's something we still have, and we can always have, and.
That's like a pretty amazing story, because all the training for the months that lead up to doing that for the first time, I don't know how you kept it a secret, but that's pretty awesome.
I remember like being on the floor and looking at her when we were next to her and being like, Mom's crying. It's just
Mom's
like,
crying.
I
don't even know how you got through the routine. That's pretty amazing.
It was hard not to cry while we were doing it, because we could see her, so it was really fun.
At the end, did you guys just...
Yeah, we just ran off right to her instead of going backstage. So
that's awesome. Fun. Shelby and Lexi King, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're here with Jennifer Kanaski, who spent a short time at Zone Cheer. When you say short time, how short?
A year, my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow. So it was 1 year of
1 year.
Fun.
Yep. So
and you went to Oak Leaf High School. You were on level 4 platinum, but you fit right into the Zone family, according to Jessica. The minute you entered the gym, you always brought a smile into the gym, which I can totally see. What was your most memorable experience that really impacted your life in that short year?
Probably UCA competition in March. It was when, I like to say, we peaked for our team. We hit the best routine we ever have, and the energy on the floor was just amazing. Unfortunately, like, the results didn't go how we wanted. We got third, but that was still such a good accomplishment, and our coaches were so proud of us. And so even though we didn't win, like, leaving the floor knowing that they were proud of us and like we gave 110% and like we could walk away proud of ourselves, I think that just really like stuck with me. Just always be proud of what you do. Like, they were proud, so it doesn't matter like the outcome.
Right, and so I bet you take that lesson and kind of apply it to lots of things in life.
Definitely, especially like being a college student right now. There's so many bumps in the road that I've been like going through. Like, life never goes how you plan, and so just always like, as long as you give it your all and you're proud of what you do, then I mean that's all that really matters. Just always give it 110%.
Well, you must have made quite an impact, because 1 year here and here you are celebrating 10 years with the whole gang.
Awesome.
So thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
So we're here with Molly Sobel, and Molly, how long were you with Zone Cheer?
5 years.
5 years. Okay,
yes.
so if you had to pick your most memorable moment in 5 years, what would it be?
Well, obviously the first most memorable moment is winning NCAA Dallas, which was one of the biggest competitions. But other than winning Dallas was going to Bring a Friend Day at Zone, which was how I found Zone and how I became part of Zone, basically. So when I came to Bring a Friend Day, I went with some of my friends that were already on the team. They were like, you have to come. Like, they're so awesome, so nice. And so I came, and instantly everyone was a family. It was like so weird walking in somewhere, and I felt like everyone was like bonded so well.
And you wanted to be part of that.
And the next day I signed up for tryouts, yes.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
So what team were you on your very first year?
My very first year, well, I came to Zone originally as level 2, which is okay. It's just the average level. And they put me on a level 3 team just because I had a round off tuck, which is the lowest skill on level 3 team. So I was like, okay, like they're gonna push me, and I was really ready for it. And a few months later, after being on level 3, I got all my skills because I was in the gym 24/7, and I crossed over to level 3 and level 4 my first year here, which was awesome.
Well, thank you for spending the 10th anniversary here at Zone Cheer. It's all so fun. So we're here with Brooke Lovelace, and now Brooke cheered here at Zone and also at St. Augustine High School, and I remember the season that you left Zone Cheer. Tell us about that whole experience.
Yeah, so I thought I didn't cheer at high school for all 3 years. My senior year, I thought that was what I wanted to do, and I just thought it would be too much. And so at first, I just decided that Zone maybe wasn't for me at that point. I didn't really have the drive to be competitive anymore, so I didn't want to hold anyone back. That's what I felt like it was at the end of that season. And so I went to Jess, and I decided that I was just going to do high school cheer. And that lasted until about the first week of July.
No, that's not long, by the way.
And so I decided that that's where I was meant to be. Like, I had this competitiveness inside of me, and I really just wanted to be on this level 5 team. Like, I wanted to be a part of this program so bad.
So how did that decision impact that next season?
Yeah, it just made the season so much better for me. I felt like I was finally thriving, and I was getting new skills, and I was all of these things, and it was so great. And it just showed that Coach Jessica's always made it that you can do both, and you can balance all these things. You just have to be willing to do so and work hard, and that just really helped me.
So here we are with all the alumni 10 years later. Some of these guys have been with Zone Cheer from the very beginning. So let's go ahead and start with Sam, who is in the all-star industry now. How has the all-star industry changed from when you were an athlete?
From when I was an athlete to now, I would say it's definitely grown a lot more, and it gotten a lot more competitive. Just skill-wise too, skills that teams were doing in level 4 now are you can do in level 3, and everything's just gotten a lot harder and more competitive.
Who would like to describe Coach Jessica's vision?
I think Coach Jessica's vision is really about having a safe space for everyone to come to, and more of a family atmosphere. I feel anytime I go into the gym, anyone that's in there, even if it's a little tiny that I've never met before, I still feel like she's my sister. I need to take care of her, and that's really how all the bonds are made here at Zone Cheer. And I feel like all of these are my sisters, and even brothers now. It's crazy to think that everyone here is basically just one big unit and one big family, and
it
really
is
nice.
One big family. That's really awesome. And I mean, her slogan really says it all. She has this really safe place for everybody to come and have fun and achieve big things, probably bigger things than you ever thought you would achieve. And that goes back to her slogan, which is
Reach for the stars.
The heart of Zone Cheer All-Stars is Jessica Moltisanti, but behind her is an army of office staff, coaches, junior coaches, Grandma Zone, and her right hand, Coach Melanie, that keep her mission of reaching for the stars going every day. So here we are with the staff of Zone Cheer All-Stars 10 years later, celebrating the anniversary. And so if we're celebrating the anniversary of Zone Cheer All-Stars, we have to start with one person, right? Grandma Zone, because without Grandma Zone, we wouldn't have had Jessica, and then there would be no Zone Cheer. So Grandma Zone is the first face we see when we walk through the doors, always smiling, always warm and friendly and inviting, and really creates what Jessica had as an idea for this place being a home away from home for these athletes.
And that's what it is.
It is a home away from home.
And that's what makes it easy.
It does. And you are always smiling, even if it's a crazy day at the gym. You could tell the smile is we're going crazy up in here. But if you can tell us one moment over the years of here at Zone, what is one moment that you were most proud of?
My daughter's success in reaching for her stars. That was a big thing in raising her.
When she first opened those doors at the first gym, were you in complete disbelief, or how did that moment make you feel?
To a mother, great success in what she tried to instill in her child, and reach for the stars and go for the future and just go with it. live your passion. And she did.
She did. And do you have any idea the impact that you have had on Zone Cheer All-Stars? Do you know how much you mean to all these athletes and all these coaches, all the alumni who have come and gone? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. Because
Really?
I don't. I just go with it as if you're raising children and fixing boo-boos, giving Band-Aids.
Lots of Band-Aids.
You just have a bunch of children. Listening to their everyday life. It becomes part of you. They become your kids. Becoming a family here was very easy.
That's a
Jessica
lot of
created
kids.
One big Zone
That
family.
one big family, and they're all my kids. And honestly, if I spend a day away, I feel sad that I don't see them, and when I see them, it's a big deal. It really
How
is.
about someone tell Grandma Zone what she really means to these athletes?
Maddie.
Aw.
I think it's just like having that like super welcoming face when you walk in, and there's always someone there to like be like, oh, how are you doing today? Even if like you're having a bad day. Grandma's will always just be there.
Aww. Oh man, now I'm gonna cry. Okay. All right. So Jessica, your mom inspired the Reach for the Stars. Do you want to tell a little bit about that? We're not gonna make it.
Here we go. When I was a little girl, my mom always taught me just to go for my dreams and anything I struggled through to believe in myself. And I did. And in the end, I succeeded in life. And without her, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today.
It is so special that you guys are able to share this whole experience together. I mean, she gave you that Reach for the Stars slogan. I love that you put that in there when you created the business. And now she's so very much a part of it. So that has got to be...
I'm lucky to have her now to keep me going. Because without her by my side, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Behind every strong woman is a strong man lifting her up and supporting her dreams. Jessica's husband, Tim, has been there since Zone was just an idea and long before that.
When I first moved here in 2006, I had a 18-month-old child. Living in the World Golf Village at that time, there was not much to do for kids, and I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I'd have to drive like 40 minutes away to do anything with my kid. So after a while, it was probably 2 years later, I thought of following my dream of opening a gym and trying it here in the World Golf Village to give kids something to do locally and make it easy on parents so that they didn't have to drive so far. So I just started looking for places, to see if it was a possibility, and I found World Golf Gymnastics, and they were actually opening a brand new facility, and I contacted the owner, who I'm grateful for today, because without that location, I would have never been what we are today. And she was open for me to rent space from her, and I kind of didn't even research anything. I just was like, I'm going for it.
So you just put out signs
Yeah,
and said,
I just put
hey,
out signs on the side of the road,
and
I just wanted to give kids a place to have growing up and a home to be safe in and to give them athletics. I love competitive cheer, and of course the wins are great, but that's really not half of what the sport does for an individual. So,
and you knew that because you grew up in competitive cheer.
Yes, yeah, I was in cheer my whole life, and it impacted me so much and taught me to be a strong person and to persevere through things. So,
and when you were at World Golf Village, tell us the person you met when you were there.
So, when they opened up the facility, they asked me to go to this dinner, and I went, and I was kind of uncomfortable because I didn't know anybody. So I was at one end of the table, and this other lady was at the other end of the table. And
I love this story.
And I found out that she taught All-Star Cheerleading. She was a coach. So at the end of the dinner, everybody was leaving. I'm in the parking lot, and there's Melanie. And I'm like, hey, how are you?
So you stalked her.
I did. I definitely was like, I have to stop this lady. So
that was a fun dinner.
I'm starting this all-star program at the gym, and I was just wondering if you want. I didn't even know anything about her, and I was like, would you help me one day a week? Because I needed someone, And she was like, sure. So it was kind of like, did this work out? Right?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Is she gonna show up?
And then we exchanged phone numbers, and the next day we chatted, and it's just, we've been together ever since.
We're like,
Without
we're like an odd marriage, kind of.
Or sisters, depending on who you talk
Definitely.
to.
Definitely a daughter.
Yes, we could be sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not, but I think everybody knows that at this point. But Jessica, share one of your most heartwarming stories in the last 10 years.
Jesus, so many. I would have to say, as a whole, just knowing the impact that this place has on the youth and teaching kids that they can do anything they want to do. And when they graduate out of the program and knowing that they hold it close to their heart is just what means the world to me.
Could you ever have imagined that that would happen when you started this 10 years ago?
No, when I started, I thought it was going to be a hobby. And I used to say, you know, I'll rent space, you know, at the gymnastics facility for about 10 years.
And that lasted?
That lasted 1 year.
Yeah.
And then at my next facility, that was my own, I thought I'd be there for another 10 years, and that was only 3 years. And now we're here, and it's like we need more space again.
Yeah. How many athletes do you have?
Right now, between all the schools, our tumbling program and our All-Stars, it's about 500. And that was one of the things that I worked really hard on was getting involved with the schools and giving them a support system of a place to go as well, to train safely. So to be able to work with St. Johns County Schools has been a huge part of our program as well.
Did you ever have that moment? So you moved from the little facility to this huge facility, and now you're even outgrowing this huge facility where you were just like, whoa, can we really make that jump?
Scary. The last facility we were at, we had one floor in our tumble track, and it was about 3,200 square feet. And it came to a point where I knew, like, we're outgrowing the space. And if we don't move to a bigger facility, what's going to happen? You know, we were just getting kids every week, new kids. And it was scary. And a lot of people were like, don't do it, you know. But something within my gut said, go for it, you know. And I knew, worst comes to worst, I fail. But at least I tried.
Well, you didn't fail. And that's a good thing. I'm glad you went with your gut. Let's move on to Melanie. Melanie
Hi, guys.
has been here since day one with Jessica. I love that story. So, I mean, this is a loaded question, but what does being part of Zone Cheer mean to you?
Being part of Zone Cheer is passion, not just for life, but for other people. It's compassion, it's respect, it's learning to love and be imperfect, and that's okay in sometimes a perfect situation. It's learning to accept what your life is, and there's always a way to make it better. It's knowing when something happens in your family, I can pick up the phone any hour of the night. Oh my God, Jess, I need you. Grandma Zone, Maddie, Bailey, you know, Megan, anybody, because that's what it is. It's bigger than this roof. It's bigger than this building. It's bigger than life itself. Because one vision from a tiny 100-pound person created something so great. So there's not really words or phrases you can use to describe what being part of Zone Cheer is. It's just an entity of its own. And if you get it and you're a part of it and you really buy in and you drink that blue Kool-Aid, it makes sense. You'll understand. But if you're looking from the outside, it's not something you see every day. I know I have people that depend on me, and I have to do for all these athletes and all these other younger coaches that come through the doors, and for my best friend, I have to be at my best. Because if I'm not at my best, how am I going to help anybody else? Because it's more than just a back handspring or a prep or a stunt or a routine. 2 minutes and 30 seconds goes by so fast. But 10 years, the things you learn at Zone Cheer in a practice is so much more than just cheerleading. You know, because there's so many kids or coaches, you know, some people may not have the best home life, but when they come through these doors, they're cool. They have a family. no matter what, they know they're going to walk in, Grandma Zone's going to give them a hug, Mark's going to pass out hugs, Parker's going to have a joke, So no matter what, this place is for everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of athletic range you're at, we have a place that can fit for everybody, whether it's staff or it's athletes,
It's an amazing place, and one of those athletes that became a coach is Madison. Madison, you're one of the few alumni that are coaching now, and how has being an athlete helped you coach?
It definitely taught me that if I can get through a whole all-star cheerleading routine, I can get through coaching one. And I definitely thinking about the end of my season, that just pushing through all those hard moments of teaching the stunts and getting that girl to throw her tumbling pass that she's really scared of, if you can just get them to get to the end goal where they're just they see the whole thing come together and they're like, wow, we did work this hard to make this actually happen. So I think just doing it and having Jessica and Melanie as my coaches, it really just helped be all right, we can get through this, and you're going to be so happy once we do. So.
And that is a unique perspective from you to pass on to them so that they can know, all right, let's just keep pushing through, and it's all going to be worth it. Yes, exactly. Coach Barker, also one of the few alumni that has coached, and how would you answer that very same question?
Well, you definitely kind of see the other side whenever you are coaching them, because you're I was definitely in your position, and I think that I'm the patient one. I really do. And so sometimes when, we're having a bad day or, everyone's yelling at one kid, I'm just always it's going to be okay. We're going to do this. We're going to progress. We're going to accomplish this. You're going to be fine. And it's going to mean that much more to you whenever you accomplish that and you go so far, and you're going to feel so good about yourself at the end, And it's all those little obstacles that you have to go through to, like Maddie said, see that end goal. And it's just so rewarding in the end.
And that translates to life lessons as well, outside of coaching.
Oh, most definitely, yes.
And two of our younger coaches kind of going through the same thing right now are Mark and Jay. And Jay, last season you had to go from a level 5 to a 3.
Yeah, that was
that
rough.
doesn't usually go that way.
Yeah.
So how did you stay motivated?
Well, one thing that really pushed me was just thinking about everything that Jess did for me. As much as she put out for me at my first season, for me and for my friend Mark, it was just incredible. It was incredible, and I couldn't believe that someone would go that much out of their way for a complete stranger. And to me, that pushed me to do the exact same for her. I didn't really know Jess that well as much as I do now, so if she could do that for me, I could definitely do that for her.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Mark, you want to share what is it like to walk in here every single day, Mark?
No matter what I'm going throughout whatever day it is, especially with my family, anytime I step in here, it's like a whole nother family that's with me and helps me throughout the day, no matter how I'm feeling or what's going on with me.
And he always gives us our
That's
hugs.
okay.
Mark gives us our hugs.
Mark gives good hugs. That really just stresses Jessica's whole family vision, and Mark is a testament to that in so many ways. I don't want to miss anybody, so Bailey, one of our newest coaches, really. She cheered All-Stars, cheered in college, you won Worlds. That's a lot of these athletes have that goal, and you won that with Stingrays. What attracted you to come work here?
Well, actually, it was actually Coach Maddie. I knew her for a couple years before we ever talked about me working here, and then actually, which would be about a year now from Battle, but Maddie dragged Jess over to me and was like, you need to work for us. You have to hire her. She has to work for us. And it was kind of an ongoing joke until about February, about high school. We were all hanging out and going around the Disney parks. And I finally just was like, well, yeah, you guys are a really great group of people. And I'll be, it was just a really great connection between everybody. And I was thought, why not? And I started coaching, and it's
She drank
been the
Kool-Aid.
best
Awesome.
ever since.
And so you moved here, right?
I did. I moved here in June, and I've been lucky for Mel to open up her home to me, and I've been with her this time, and it's
Again,
really been
always
great.
taking care of everyone. Yeah.
My dogs love her.
I have to go now to the stunt guy, but I want you guys, I want you to share the story about the stunt guy. Of course, we know and love him, Jacob, but tell us about that story, the stunt guy.
We had a clinic here with the Cheerleader magazine, and I wasn't able to come, so of course Mel held down the fort for me, and she said that this guy was, you know, coaching the clinic, and he was really nice, and he was interested in possibly a job at Zone. And I was like, oh, really? You know, and at that time, we were trying to find coaches, and it was very hard. So he wound up emailing me. So every time we talked, before I got to like meet him in person, I would just call him the stunt guy, because like his name couldn't, and like, you know, that stunt guy that you're talking about.
Well,
once I met him, and
yeah.
we got going. Then Jacob.
Then he's
and now
Coach Jacob,
always
yeah.
Jacob.
And Coach Jacob, you do know the kids love Coach Jacob. Flyers or not, they want to be in Coach Jacob's class. I mean, you're their favorite stunt guy. So what drew you to come work at Zone?
Well, like Jess said, I was teaching clinics for the Cheerleader magazine. So then I came here, it was complete night and day. And then, like Jess said as well, Mel was coaching or there to kind of run it. And she was very welcoming and very friendly and kind of just like pushed me. I was like, oh my God, I gotta work here. So the first time I've ever searched a competitive cheerleading gym was for Zone Cheer ever in my life. And I was like, I need to find the owner. So I found Jess, emailed her, and met Grandma Zone, and just been here ever since.
Seal with seal.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it's one big happy family to you too.
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, for sure.
like our
Definitely
brother.
home away from
Yeah.
home.
Big brother.
He's
Like our
the
sons, he's our
protector.
brother.
He
Yeah.
who takes care of everyone.
No, he's my son. He's your brother.
How does your role here help with the guys? Because these two are the first guys here at Zone Cheer.
I think that they help me more than anything because they've been here longer than I have, and they kind of tell me, like, push me to be better, and I push them to be better, I feel like, and then it's just a constant competition between us. At Florida State, it's always been the same way with my friends there. We always kind of push each other to be the best we can be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have an amazing staff. 10 years. It's hard to believe it started out with, I love the story of the little sign that you put in the grass.
We have
and
it.
You
It's
do?
in the closet over
We'll
there.
have to definitely whip that. It's in the closet?
Yeah.
Go grab it.
That's my cell phone number.
So now the logo hasn't changed all that much. You stayed pretty true to it.
We changed the Z.
Uh-huh.
The
Yeah,
best logo
yeah.
in all the land.
So we actually brought this logo back this year in one of our baseball shirts and changed it up a little bit.
Oh, how fun is
We brought it
that?
back from Mel because this is Mel's
My favorite logo.
That's so funny. All right, so I first of all want to thank you for letting me be part of this. I've been here for 5 years, and it has been the most amazing 5 years of my life and my daughter's life. I've seen her grow so much in the 5 years that she's here. If she could be here 7 days a week, she would be. I've never once heard her say that she didn't want to come. She is always ready. But I'm not going to be the one to close out happy 10 years to Zone Cheer. So what do you want to say to all the athletes, coaches, everybody watching this right now?
It's been an amazing journey so far, and we've had ups and downs and climbing those mountains to get to where we are today. I couldn't have done without the support of everybody that has helped me get there. I will continue to work my heart out for all the kids in our community to give them a home and an exciting place to be after school that's safe and loving. And we will continue to up our game at competitions and in choreography and work our hearts out to be at the top of the industry all the time in everything that we do. And I'm just glad and thankful for all the families to be involved, and I look forward to what's to come for Zone Cheer.
Another 10 years. I can't wait to celebrate.
Go Zone on 3, go Zone on 3. 1, 2, 3, go Zone!